Alright, I put a quick coat of the Rust-Oleum primer on the filter choke box. Well, three sides of it anyway. And I've got to let it dry for a few hours before I can move it to paint the other side. I wanted to get something on it before it starts to corrode again. Alright, this is the last update for today. Hi everybody, it is Saturday, July 7th. The hottest day of the year here so far in Ohio. 99 degrees outside according to my outdoor thermometer, which is why today's video will look a little different. It's being shot with my iPhone just like the others, but I am not turning on my 300 watt overhead halogen work light. And also you'll probably hear more fans going on in the background to try to keep a little cool down here. Today we are going to continue work on the socket power unit. As you see, the filter choke has been removed. I do have that sitting over here. Has its first coat of primer on it, and it is drying. I'm letting it dry the 24 hours, and I'm going to sand it later tonight and put another coat on it. And I'm also going to sand all these down, the power transformer and the filter capacitor block. And I'm actually going to remove the filter capacitor box, and when I paint the first coat, the second coat on the choke, I will put the first coat on all this. But I have been making notes and copying down wiring colors for the capacitor box here so I can take them off. I'll also be able to fully test these dog bones once I get them off, and can test them out of circuit to make sure they're okay. Have made kind of a scroll of a diagram. Yes, my handwriting is horrible, but I can kind of read, and so I can wire everything back in. Soldering iron here warming up, and the fans kind of counteract that, but I'll get everything all taken off and soldered, and as usual just have a little music going in the background, but today I have a different channel playing. And if you're wondering about the computer, it's just a old dual drive, a mere dual drive PowerMac G4 running OS 10.5.8. The PC over here is just for that. It is a format translator running Windows 98 with a USB port, so I can download stuff off the internet and put it on floppy disk. And this monitor has two inputs, so I can switch between the DVI on the Mac and the VGA on the IBM Aptiva there. And quick overview of the workbench. And there's not Sprite in that bottle, that's denatured alcohol. And the Rust-Oleum and commensurate bottle of water for today. Alright, I'll get you guys an update later on. Well, I was able to get the filter and the output choke and filter capacitor block off using the same method of, I desoldered everything and then used a chisel to kind of work up the tabs. Was able to get it all off here, and looks like it is just, and here's the cardboard cover. And it was real fun getting off because the wax that is all through this, as you can see in this cardboard in here, that had melted through, kept getting on the soldering iron and contaminating it, so it was real fun to desolder everything. But it looks like everything is just beeswax, so when I get back later tonight, I will sand everything else here up and get it ready for priming and painting, and same with this. And then I will try to melt this wax out so I can get the capacitors out. Should be interesting. This actually looks a little different than the Radiola 18 that I've followed, because it looks to be paper here. around the edges, around 3 of the edges, not 4. Alright, that's today afternoon update, and it is now 102 outside, so good day. And I'll see you guys all this evening. Hello again. Well, I did finish some primering on the stuff, and the first thing here was a second coat of primer on the filter choke, and a first coat on the socket power unit chassis and power transformer. Have some painter's tape to protect the rectifier and also the boiler plate. And then first coat also on the filter capacitor and output choke box, because I was not going to try to disassemble this box today because of the wax that everything is potted in. Yeah, it's low temperature wax and it melts out easily, but I'd still need to use a heat gun. I'm not using a heat gun on a day that's 102 out. So I'll get back to this tomorrow. It's supposed to be much cooler. It's supposed to only be about 82, so, but I still want to leave it till it's where it's been here for at least 8 hours, so it'll dry overnight. And then in the early afternoon I'll start tackling that. That I may set up the camera over shoulder so you can watch the whole process. And this is first coat, so this will dry as well. And then these will get sanded down in 24 hours. Yeah, it's kind of late, but 24 hours from now these will get sanded down, and this will get sanded down as well. And what will happen is I'll put start the final coats on that with the real paint, which is the gloss leather brown. And I'll see how that looks. And that's all for tonight's update. And I'm going to combine a couple updates together instead of putting all these small ones and annoying you all. So one big update tonight. Alright, have a good night.